What's going on, traders? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. So thank you guys again for joining us for another, not Sunday Stock Talk, daily recap on today's trading. Today is officially going to be the first day of this $1,000 challenge. And if you guys don't know what that is already, there should be a link at the very end of this video that's going to be popping up, letting you guys know, elaborating a little bit more on what the $1,000 challenge is. Pretty much, I used to trade with over a little bit over $30,000. And it was the Robinhood margin account, so I didn't have to worry about my pattern day trading restrictions. Now, because the majority of the members within TechBud Solutions, nearly being over 12,200 members worldwide, majority of you guys trade with $1,000 or less. And I wanted to create a challenge that helps you guys identify, stay on track, set goals, and see growth. That's the whole plan of this challenge. So what I decided to do is to get rid of that account and focus on an account that I can, in a sense, go through once again and see what I can overcome to help you guys so we can grow as a team. That's the whole point. So I can trade with you guys with the same account that you guys have, the same restrictions that you guys have, in effort to see growth and to be able to assist you guys as I go through the day with trading. So I am going to click on the link since I don't have access to the live chat. I want to know how you guys are doing today. So feel free to let me know in this live chat room that we have right now. But let me see what I can find. I have been on the phone with Robinhood, I think a total of 4 times today. My account got restricted. As I transferred my money out of my Robinhood account, it restricted me as a pattern day trader because of the previous trades that I did within the past 5 days. And they restricted me. They lifted the restriction as I talked about yesterday in the Sunday Stock Talk, and they re-restricted me as the market opened this morning. So I was holding Snapchat overnight as of from Thursday now to Monday, and I was going to be selling for a profit. So from the $1,000, which I originally started with, I was at like 1,030 or something like that. So it was about a 3% growth. It wasn't anything crazy, but that's in a sense, my goal for the day. So it was going to give me a cushion to get off to a good start. And I knew that there was a resistance at 2030, and it was at 2036, so I was going to sell at 2035. And it restricted me. It didn't allow me to sell. I was very upset because right after that, it dipped all the way down to 1980. I'm not too worried when it comes to Snapchat, but what if it was like a day trade that I was, it was like a pump and dump or a momentum trade, and I had to get rid of it that moment? That would have been horrible, right? So I am going to show you that I've been on hold with Robinhood for 49 minutes and 50 seconds. And this is my 4th call with them. So I've been on the phone with them for probably 5 to 6 hours, and it's such a waste of time because of how much it's not allowed me to trade and what I've had to put aside because of this. And so it's such an inconvenience. And I know a lot of you have reached out to me about how long it actually takes to get someone on the phone. So I do apologize for that inconvenience. Again, I have no control over Robinhood and what it is that they do, but I think that's definitely something that they have to work on, because if I have a question about trading and I want to speak to an advisor, waiting 60 minutes to an hour or waiting 50 minutes to an hour is not going to be a useful resource. So I definitely think that they're going to be losing a lot of people because of that inconvenience. But let me go ahead and get into what happened today. JDST started from lows of, I believe, a little bit right below $14, ended up hitting highs of, I think, about now $15.20. So overall, an amazing day for JDST. Since I wasn't able to day trade myself, what I was, in a sense, just tried to see if I can identify any potential for you guys. And you guys did amazing with my call on JDST. And I was like, hey guys, look, I'm waiting for the break. I'm at the specific price point. And once it broke, you guys, were able to analyze and identify that potential, decided to jump on in, set a support resistance where you guys were going to cut your losses and where you guys were going to sell. And I saw the hundreds, if not thousands of dollars that you guys were going to lock in for profit within that small alert. You guys also did an amazing job identifying potential with JNUG and NUGT because those are really low when JDST is pretty high. Snapchat being at 1980, if you look at the overall analysis, I'm going to start sharing my screen in a couple minutes. It identifies itself as, in a sense, a good buy. So I'm gonna start sharing my screen again. I didn't trade today, but what I said in the morning, if I can't trade, then I'm gonna try to help you guys trade with just shouting out certain stocks that I see that have potential. But again, I wanna make sure that you guys analyze and identify that potential every time that you guys, before you guys jump in and into any stock. And I wanna make sure that you guys are the decision makers on, you know, where you buy and where you sell and what it is that you're buying and selling. So I'm gonna start sharing my screen and let's see if I can. All right, so this is Snapchat. So right now Snapchat is trading at 1994. So it's actually picking up a little bit. And if you see right here, it had a nice little support at 1980. I actually need to update this graph. So as you can see, nice support here around 1980, highs of 2020. In a sense, this wouldn't be your 10% potential. This was just an overnight hold that I saw to be a safe buy, because if you do a 2-day analysis, you know, support here, resistance here, it played out essentially the same way. And if you see during pre-market hours, it actually hit a little bit over 240. On my TD Ameritrade app, it actually showed that it only went highs up 2036. But overall, the potential on where it stands right now and where it usually plays out. So if you do a 1-month analysis, this is usually a very low point for Snapchat comparing to where it used to trade at, but it hasn't seen much just increase in price within the past couple of days, right? It's been slowly staircasing down, and I think that might be the tension within our economy and the uncertainty, right? So this is just one to keep your eyes on and to set your alerts, right? Now let's talk about JDST and see how that one's doing. So I hope you guys were able to do well. It actually looks like it's coming down, and I want to compare this one to JNUG. If we do the comparison, right now JNUG is down quite a bit, but if you can see, they're almost inverse of one another. JNUG being this blue, these blue trends, and then JDST being these red and green trends. So if you can see, when JNUG goes up, JDST goes down, and when JDST goes up, JNUG goes down. So I'm going to remove that just because it's a little harder to read. All right, there we go. So as you guys can see, support there, overall support there. For all those that were worried last week when they, you know, ended up buying at 1240, 1250, I'm like, oh no, like what's going on with JDSC? You have to understand these are gold ETFs, and although they do fluctuate a lot, they usually end up coming back up. So again, it's just identifying these low points and high points and trade according to that. So you can see JDSC is right now currently at these high points, so it's more in that buy ratio. And I'm sure if we use one of our indicators called RSI, it's going to tell us just that right now it's more in the, yeah, there we go. Whoa, I added 2. That it's at the higher price point, meaning that's more at that sell resistance point than compared to the sold point right here. So overall, I'm most likely going to have to wait till it gets a little bit closer to the $13 mark for JDST. And now when it comes to JNUG, this is definitely one that once they do remove the lift or the restriction on my account, I'm going to decide jumping into. And the reason why is actually I want to do that 10-day analysis. You can see the support within these past couple of days, 10 days, right? And the resistance that it's had definitely had 10% potential, even in just the past, you know, day, right? This being the previous market close, and currently where it stands to lows of 629, highs of 690. That is nearly almost 10% potential. And for a stock that's, you know, over stuff to have that within a day, that's definitely, and again, to stay on track for this $1,000 challenge, you have to lock in 2.33% growth per day. So this is definitely not unrealistic, especially when identifying potential with stocks like these, right? So, I really want to talk about one specific thing. So we're doing this $1,000 challenge, and I'm going to continue doing recaps even when I don't trade, because I'm going to be trading with another account. So I have my Fidelity account that I moved my money to, and although I'm going to be doing this $1,000 challenge with you guys, I don't want that to inhibit in a sense, my growth that I plan to see within 2017 for my day trading. So now I've funded my Fidelity account a little bit more, and then obviously here's the stocks, and I'm going to be focusing on that. But again, you only have to day trade 3 times because of the PDT rule within your Robinhood margin account, meaning that although I missed today, I still have 4 other days that I can focus on to see growth. That only means that I'm going to have to be that much more, in a sense, not aggressive, but just make sure that those 3 day trades that I have within a 5-day period are worth it, right? I definitely don't want to. I definitely don't want to jump into any stock that can be on a downward trend. That's one of the first things that I noticed right away when jumping in, or just feeling restricted to 3 day trades and understanding that I could only trade once a day. And that could almost be used to cut my losses, and I definitely don't want that to be it, because that only means that I'm going to have to make that much more. So it is a lot of pressure. But again, just my feedback from doing this, just my first day, even though I didn't even actually trade because of my restriction currently that I have on my account, I would suggest is make sure you use every indicator that you can to identify potential. What I mean by that is use your support, use your resistance, identify that you're getting in at a good buy, but don't jump in just at the support. Make sure that it bounces. Make sure that you see that the support that you identified is an actual support, and it validates that. And then once you do that, then make sure you use different indicators like EMA to show upward momentum. And by doing that, you give yourself a better understanding. Are telling me that it actually is, it does have potential for growth. And then don't be afraid to lock in your profits when you're at 2.33%, at 3%, 4%, because that is your trade for the day. Again, if you think you can really strike more and it's realistic, then I say go for it. But that's just my feedback for the first day of the $1,000 challenge. I really do apologize that I wasn't able to fully participate because of this restriction within my Robinhood account. And the thing that's scary is that their market like hours for operation are only during market open, and that closes in 13 minutes. And I've been on the phone with them for 58 minutes and 51 seconds, and they have not answered. And this is me calling back because they said they fixed it and they never did fix or lift that restriction with my account. So that's pretty upsetting. I really hope this doesn't, in a sense, go on for the following day, because then I'm really not sure what I'm going to be able to do with these restrictions, because it says I'm limited until July 21st or something like that. So overall, thank you guys again so much. If you guys want to be a part of the $1,000 challenge, feel free to join our group. It's a free group that you can join. Again, the link is provided for you down in the description. It's TechBot Solutions. And then we do have an Excel spreadsheet that will allow you to stay on track. And we have a specific video elaborating a little bit more on how to exactly use that spreadsheet. I'm still super pumped about this $1,000 challenge. And I think a lot of you guys, with the growth that you guys saw on JDSC today, are super excited and just can truly identify that potential in growth. As long as you see consistent growth, it doesn't have to be an unrealistic amount. It just really means just steady growth, consistency, and being realistic. So I hope you guys have an amazing week. I am going to upload today's helpful video, and that's going to be talking about the importance of averaging up or averaging down. So I hope you guys find that useful, as well as I'm going to be uploading about a video about my accident with my motorcycle, if not today, then tomorrow. So I hope you guys are excited for that. If you guys haven't done so already, we'd really appreciate if you guys can subscribe and like this video if you guys found this helpful. And if you guys have any questions or suggestions, please reach out to me. The best way for me to actually see what it is that you guys are saying is if you guys join TechBot Solutions and get into our group chat, which is, again, all free. You can DM me or comment below, but the comments, just because I receive a series of them, aren't always read. And I do apologize for that, but I will try harder to answer your guys' questions and make videos that are specifically for your guys' needs. Can't thank you guys enough for the support. I hope you guys have an amazing week, and let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, guys.